Okay, there's another entry, I guess. Yes, I'm Brian Brunson, aka Agent Ravenvale. This a cat is a good animal. Anyways, I want to talk about a few things. Really enough, not my double chin, but I want to talk about the inauguration speech. Donald Trump had a mosquito bite. He was winced by a stray, I guess 50 cal, dull straight by someone he knew and had as a vice president. J.D. Vance. Conspiracy talk. There are 5 J.D. Vances, excluding the one everybody saw. These are part of a program to have doppelgangers, and there is an FBI program that manipulated the women with children, genetic manipulation, to have more than one. There's an old SS project they used. Basically, they had the women either comply or not comply. They didn't comply, they drugged. And the project is called Last to Go Gemini Free. The SS program was deemed incomplete because technology was not there yet. But it started in the 50s and kept going until now. Expanded Pioneers projects were central to South Americans manipulating people, and pretty much drugs were used. CIA was involved, FBI was involved, and cartel members raped women to expand their bloodlines, and all were sanctioned by the FBI. And they even supply the drugs, they even supply the techniques, and the projects were, I guess, a complete success. I don't know. I'll go and say the syrup is on my chin, and I think I'm in the dark pretty much. But this is not anything common. It started in Germany, worked its way through France, Africa, and then worked its way around through Spain, through top Finland, that kind of area that went down through the Middle East, went through China, Russia, then to Australia, then worked its way around to the south and central through Mexico, then to Canada, and then United States. There are many proto projects that end and start. They usually start in Europe and work their way around through South and Central America, and then work his way up. We try Canada, then we try finally the United States. One most notably is Combine Project. Combine is an acronym, mostly just states involved. My state, Louisiana, was heavily involved. A lot of stuff covered up, like my nose from these glasses. Yes. Anyways, a lot of these things were used to control societies, keep them in fear. All these projects were complete success. Vatican's in on it. They've been in for hundreds of years. Anybody knows too much, they are killed. Usually they can't kill them, they sabotage their lives in many ways. Cars, houses, anything to think of, school. A lot of these Combine projects where they had people in the 30s, 40s go back to high school, sometimes multiple times. A lot of them went to summer school. They weren't too bright, but they used cosmetic surgery, minor to major, and they had these grown men with teenagers planning different things, influencing them, drugs to murder, to many different things. Also the school shootings, to control things like the guns, or keep them in fear, manipulate the laws. Once these attacks happen, everything is modified to go to zero tolerance pretty much, while certain individuals get away with it. But I will go with the Columbine Project and say they had a bunch, thousands. But as certain bloodlines go, the gentleman that was used in that project to hit the president was drugged, manipulated, to a point where he thought he was crazy. Yeah, they use satellite torture. They use anything possible, monitoring tactics on your phone, on your internet, on everything, on any electronic. They can use frequencies. They can use tampering. They can alter reality. And different things they can use at their disposal, and they can have news, other outlets covered up. The reason was burned to get rid of the evidence. A lot of things being told, either has been run by and approved, censored, and we don't get anything in the United States that has not been approved by FBI or politicians or a lot of people. There is beginning would be the Dukes of Destrange. Destrange meaning the construction, the architects of Archmen, we don't pronounce it. It's pretty much these people that want the standard to be their standard and no one else's. Anytime someone deviates from this standard, they're usually killed or sabotaged. We usually have money, backed by gold. That doesn't really matter. There's no gold. I mean, if anything would have happened, the gold would have been taken by anybody else. It would be taken by the people involved, and the gold is never needed. No, it's just a false stand they use, and they always overprint the money. So I mean, the gold is never really, of any use. It's just things they have as a protection in case, apocalypse, what it would be called by them. And they do call the apocalypse very much called Z, zero. The sum of zero, meaning we start over again. And if anything happens, these people have access to these gold bars or whatever, so they would have something to trade with. And their vision of the devastation would be terrible. They would have, they tried nuclear bombs, tried nuclear missiles. If y'all didn't notice, the other night there was a 21 missile salute by the politicians in certain states and in certain access points in Russia, which they own. Or not own, because they use taxpayers' money to pay for these things. The government owns, not them. Like I said, they use satellite and other things to torture. So sometimes they use experimentals, psionic satellites to either torture or suppress thought. The psionic torture method is pretty much a beam tethered in your head and wipes out thought. But the gentleman in the Columbine Xterra project was set up. They always need a patsy. You got Hitler, you got Osama bin Laden, you have what's his name, Saddam Hussein. You always have somebody to come after, be a figurehead. While the people in the background, usually agencies, FBI, CIA, alphabet groups, all hide behind a Council of Menage, the many. And Council Menage is the latest one, the Council of the Many, the Faceless, basically, to rule the world. They control the banks, they control everything down, they have businesses, they have legal and illegal entities, they own drug rings, they own human slavery, child slavery, organ trade, drug rings. Anything is legal for them, and it's illegal for us to know. I have a link to my True Social. I constantly do things. I mean, I'm not able to have a job anymore. I'm mentally ill. I have schizoaffective bipolar. It happened very weirdly where one day I was hearing voices. Weirdly enough, Stephen King and Donald Trump. Took me a while to realize it was satellite torture. They had exact pitching with cell phones. They had manipulated software, AI kind of thing, where, my brain was going crazy. And I found out later on that my stuff was continually tainted, poisoned in the grocery store. Things I liked, people did research on what I liked. for years. Apparently, they kill what they call altered human beings, beings capable of, I guess, I sound crazy, but harnessing light to effect of manipulating, you would say, reality. But I don't know. I don't really believe these things. I just came across a few things, and yet again, I have schizophrenia. I have bipolar episodes and stuff like that. Pretty stressed. I can't find a job. Apparently, they've been manipulating my Indeed account, and I've been, constantly searching for a job. I have an associate's in IT. I haven't been able to find anything. Yeah, local, nothing. Well, if the conspiracy is true, I have not been ingratiated. You can check these things out. I have my clearance there. They blocked my gracious. Members of my family are, CIA. My great grandfather, Young Rhodes, David Rhodes, uncles, David and Sidney Montero, my father, Mark Allen Brunson, even my mother. There are more, but turns out that other members of my family are not as honest or forthright or even kind of dashly human beings that would set up their brother and threaten their mother, do other horrible, heinous things to stay out of trouble with certain groups like DEA. I've had constant troubles. Below videos, Tangier Parish don't do their jobs very well. And some people say, that's police for you. No, it's part of the conspiracy. If you see the video, the guy does not identify himself. The ones that did it, guy did identify himself. Fucking stutter. He was not. K Black was not. Is still not a police officer. Many weird things have happened to me in my residence. People have, broken in the attic, hanging around, doing weird things, tempering my AC in my car, using different chemicals on my cars, scratching the fiberglass firewall on both cars, messing with brakes, just a few different things that I found out later on, having my father and my mother. People constantly try to sabotage their lives and end it. The hospitals, aides, nurses, doctors are all part of a conspiracy as well. They call it Dark Circle. That is the head unit, and if they don't like, they try to kill them, either surgery or treatment or, any way they can. There are cannibals out there. They are called the Feasters, and there is a celebration of the feast that goes around the world. All sponsored by Menage. The Menage. I want to, pronounce it. They celebrate human derogation, oppression, and they want to eat people they consider rivals or specimens of interest to, eat their brains and gain their knowledge, kind of thing, from the planet Terror thing. Turns out a lot of things that are referenced in these movies, TV shows, are part of the truth, and some make it through, some don't, and the FBI censors a lot of things. They get, certain, notifications from certain people and say, hey, we see this coming out, don't put it out. And they find different ways to censor a lot of things. I mean, if you believe this, cancer, AIDS, many different things were, lab grown and, distributed. Altered humans, they call them, have been around since the beginning of time. Aliens, ETs, beings from other planets, with estimation around 1,700 have visited, and we have tried to eat them. Apparently, not me. I don't think it tastes very well. No, but they try to gain their knowledge, and some of them, they haven't really feasted, but apparently their first visitation, they did manage to knock one out and eliminate it. They didn't like the taste, they didn't like the after effects. And most of them did, die from this process because ETs are not very nutritious. No, different, biological components, and they did die because naturally these beings were irradiated coming down. There's more things, but as I straight from my main point was is that this person was related to somebody I went to college with. That shooter for the inaugural speech of President Trump. The original guy, he thwarted 2 Columbines, one in England and one in Colorado. He was severely injured during both attempts to save his classmates, save everybody involved. There's many attempts in my life, his as well. Many conspiracies evolve with these people and people that try to thwart them. You say, well, why the hell did you do this? Why would you say this shit online? I don't give a shit. It's been 40 years, I don't give a fuck. They kill your, try to kill your parents, try to kill your siblings, they'll try to kill you, they'll try to kill your pets, they'll fuck your house up. A lot of things. And the reason I mentioned the shooter is that they pick these people out for revenge, but also they prey on the weak. The Festival Feast is coming up. It starts Halloween. They deem the weakest in each family that is put on in a draft, a lottery, like that, like a short story. Some people get out of it, some people don't. Each 50 state has a code name for the individual involved, like Tina. And our state, Louisiana, they use many different names, but Tina Tuna Can, kind of like, Tina Tuna was a spokesperson, mascot for a few different things in Louisiana. The company is now defunct, but all 50 states have a favorite dish, and it is that person. They usually try to have them commit suicide or get them in prison where they kill them, or they do other things to where the person wants to commit suicide. There's no escaping this. No, this is our life. This is our government. Currently, only 43, or not including the conspiracy, all the way up and down, from the highest politician, excluding the president, who has been a target of this practice as well. But our state is very weird, Louisiana. If you look at our weird city names, we also use parishes, basically centers of hell. It's acronym, parish. I did a video, I'm not sure if I explained it very well, but Michigan is our twin state also as well. If you know, and theirs is covered more in Indian greetings. All involve cannibalism. But J.D. Vance and Senator Crenshaw was involved, and his implant on a part of his body was augmented to tether to the shot, and there were components used, and the shooter was, I believe, and I'll say it, J.D. Vance. He had the guy next to him, individual with glasses, and he was scared shitless, drugged, and he knew he was going to die. J.D. Vance had things lined up. Crenshaw diverted the shot, so it was only a ear mark, no pun intended. Later, as soon as the shot was off, Vance realized that he had missed. President Trump did kind of feel apparently he had some kind of intuition to where he moved, and saved his life. If you notice that video, people are not at all shocked. Some are clapping, some are just like, oh, well, he just died. And, to their surprise, he had not. And the media downplayed, the politicians downplayed it, as a mosquito bite, a little scratch. No, that was a death shot. That would have been right into his head. He would explode like a melon. Yeah. And the politicians would have got their their justice, pretty much their want and wishes to have J.D. Vance in power. J.D. Vance is a plant. His military service, he was called, they call him a war hero, but the thing is, these things are never really, a lot of things are manipulated to where he was a born politician. They were groomed for greatness. If you look at his tours, a lot of things, they are questionable, and our involvement with these wars are very questionable indeed. Most of the involvements in these wars are, especially the Middle East, are for control of certain resources. They're never for the people involved there, and a lot of practices used in these wars are very questionable because our troops are the terrorists, along with the militant groups. They involve in drug rings to make money, child slavery, and other things to pretty much make money and enjoy the self-present pedophilia and sex slavery. They indulge in murder and cannibalism to get rid of their stuff, their crimes, and or get the knowledge and energy or whatever from the people they kill and eat. Cannibalism is an old practice. It's been going on for a while. Sometimes people do it out of desperation, plane accidents, isolation. But these individuals revel in the ritual. Some rituals people know, like a Memorial Park, bathing in the pond and having different size seats, small to large, where they use a child sacrifice, and the bigger adults, sit in the larger seats, and then they kill the small individuals in the smaller seats, and apparently have orgies and bathe in blood and do a bunch of weird spirit and blood pacts, and to where they ensure that they live on. These pacts are not anything new or different. They are extenuating from the SS Waffen. They believe that use of seals, souls, and blood would make their souls permanent and have hosts where they could take over the vessels. A lot of things happen in these wars, World War I, World War II, to Civil War. All were world-ending events. Our Civil War was not just based in the United States. All countries had an involvement in it. All countries were involved in World War I, World War II. But our histories in the United States are all censored. And it's very, very hard to find some of these things. And if you do speak the truth, some way, way, shape, or form, they do come after you. Or they do come after you just for the fuck of it. If they see your power signature or whatever on satellite or whatever, or they deem you, a certain type through your blood or whatever, they will come after you. Regardless of what you say or do. Accidents do happen, as they say. If you have a good invention, a great invention, if you have a bunch of things going on in your life, and they see you a rival, they will come after you. While certain individuals involved with their group are able to do what the hell they want. These groups indulge in inbreeding. They indulge in a lot of questionable practices, and they there are certain things they could cover up, like a regenerative project, which the FBI is known for. They have made different regenerative projects that started in World War I and were extended till recently, where seems that most of them are closed down, where they were processing where the human body is generated. It's not perfected. They thought it was. Sad to say it was used for many serial killers and many people in the drug trade to keep them alive, because as they kill themselves or each other for many different reasons, to keep them around. And they use these individuals to go in and out of prisons, jails, to trade information or keep the terror alive, keep the control nice and tight. But months, years were in planning for that Trump inaugural speech. They planned on killing him. They were trying to kill him before that many different times, at least 21 times before that. They don't want him to be the president. I mean, they've watched him continually in the news, and the news is ruled by usually the left, and they want y'all to be emotional over stupid things. They want y'all to be short-sighted, short-memoried, to forget things so they can constantly manipulate and change history and facts. I saw a few things on Wikipedia and other things where things didn't match up, and they changed photos all the time. And I noticed some weird things about people I was hanging out with. There's a lot of things involved. I just wanted to kind of broad stroke, but they manipulated an individual with the glasses over and over again for years, and broke him down to where he questions reality, and finally dragged him into the conspiracy where he would be the patsy. A lot of patsies are always used because there's a figurehead, and they figure they don't know. They figure they don't know anything, forget. That's why they want to keep everybody, kind of low IQ, which, they underestimate people. They overestimate themselves. But this vigil was used as a patsy. They burned his body immediately. And they don't understand many things. They don't understand what they do. I will say this. You may think I'm a nut, but time travel is possible. That's why they have these fucking movies. They're ETs, aliens, time travel. A lot of things have been suppressed. They're real zombies. They started in Africa. A lot of events and movies mirror and have small references to other things that happened in World War I, World War II. Sometimes even Civil War. Just different things that they're able to sneak in which, so many movies that put out, it's fun to make it through, and some people that, censor things don't see, and too late, it's been released. A lot of artists are censored. A lot of directors, a lot of writers are censored. Sometimes even killed. So never make it. Either with careers or life. YouTube's a good source. But, yet again, they can scrub things. They can keep things suppressed. And I mean, it's not a stereotype, but it's just that these people are stereotypes that, control the world. My experience with them is that they all think alike, and that is one of their downfalls. They don't communicate very well, and they think they know it all to the point where it's laughable. I kind of hate myself that I've been taking medication that I have proof that's been tampered with. People break in my house, tamper with many food items, even my dog's items, my cat items, foods, try to mess with the well. Many different poisons were used. I could not go to the FBI. I could not go to locals because all were compromised. State troopers as well. CIA has been monitoring me for a while, but yet again, they've been more of a hindrance, a handicap than anything else because they're involved with it for the most part. Many different things happened in my life, and not bitter or anything. I'm just trying to express things, and hopefully I get some message out there to someone who understands. And this is I'm a little lighthearted, but things have been rough. I'm not trying to promote anything. I enjoy my life for the time being. Things are, okay. I have my mom, my dogs, my cat, and I'm doing all right. I wish I had a job. I wish I had some income, but seems that, things aren't working out. But yeah, they can tamper with your pharmaceuticals at the, a factory, their origin. They can tamper with when they're bottling with, and just many things they can tamper with, and accidents do happen, and things, can be mislabeled, with coroners or overlooked, or the police can be not as observant, and if the FBI is involved, it will cover everything up. Just, we have personal information. I try to put it out there. You may find it useful. You may think I'm insane, but I enjoy these videos. Grata Dome, Denves, Comora. Means something in Latin, I think. I don't know. But anyways, I'll keep going. The different things I'll vocalize. Hope you understand my accent. Hope I spoke clearly. I've had a stutter, as you could well know, for my whole life, basically. Easily enough, you can develop a stutter by satellite torture. If they hit a certain spot, and whenever, left hemisphere, it can cause stuttering. And also with the sonic satellites, it can cause some dimness. They're poisoning you in some way, shape, or form through surface pills or other ways. It can make you a uh, really dull person. There are many different experiments, but there's a reason why they burn people. But yes, I'll leave with that. You have a good night. Thank you.